doing a series where we ask presenters some questions that will be compiled at the end of the year. So I'm going to hand the tiny mic off to you.
Hello. Hello, it's a little tiny mic.
It looks edible.
I feel like Gulliver visiting Little Puchinland.
We're here to do a tiny mic concert actually now, and we're going to be singing It's a Small World.
Well, I'm going to steal the one that maybe all of us would have mentioned, but it's probably the Oscar. Our dad, Wally Reitherman, picked it up in the 1967 Academy Award for Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day.
I'm with Bruce. I like that icon. I kind of like the display case that has the actual paint from the ink and paint department.
Well, for me, I think it's a Schultheis notebook. It's something that I knew about before it was purchased by the museum by Diane. It's a wonderful, unique artifact of animation history.
I gotta say the Disneyland model at the end, I don't know how you can top that. It's just unbelievable.
The Lily Bell. Why are they asking me things that are so obvious?
Oh, God.
I think I have to narrow it down to 3. The Haunted Mansion, Pirates, and Small World. 4, sorry, Enchanted Tiki Room. And those are all completely immersive experiences, which is why I love them.
The Tiki Room.
Being the age I am now, the exciting attractions are something I'm now avoiding. So I think It's a Small World is so nostalgic, and it just brings back the memory of the first time I went to Disneyland.
My favorite Disneyland attraction is actually 2, and it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody, the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, because both of them represent just the pinnacle of Walt Disney Imagineering, and they, to this day, decades later, remain the crown jewels in the Imagineering crown.
I can only pick one.
I can go to the next one. We can come back to that.
Yeah, let me think.
I like the Jungle Cruise. Been obsessed with it since it was made. I remember seeing footage of a Nash Rambler with a camera on top driving in the dry riverbed to sort of give an impression of what the ride would look like. I'm obsessed with that.
If I was going to pick a different one, I'd probably go with either Autopia or the submarines.
Oh, Autopia, yes.
When you're a kid, you get to, drive a car.
Totally wanted to drive a car.
I just wish they could get rid of those center rails so you could just go any place. But I guess that would be a bad idea.
They tried it, it didn't work very well.
No.
I have very many of them, but I think the one that I remember when I first went to Disneyland was the Peter Pan ride. Flying through the air. Oh my gosh, it was such magic.
I would also add, and it's a big toss-up between Pirates of the Caribbean.
I like that.
Right? Getting to be in a cannon fight, traveling down into those caverns on a hot day, getting the water splash. But Small World. There's something about Small World, right? Come on, it unifies us all.
I have more than one. I think at the top is It's a Small World. I love the inclusivity of all of the children. I think it's something that's aspirational. And I think the other one has to be the Peter Pan ride.
You took one of mine. Peter Pan is my absolute favorite. We always have to do it when I go. And I remember when my daughter Audrey was just a baby and I took her on that ride. For the very first time, I bawled through the entire ride because it was so, so special. And then the other ride that we always have to go on is in Tomorrowland, and it's Space Mountain.
There's an attraction I loved in Tomorrowland that is no longer there. It's Adventures Through Inner Space. And that was, it was freaky. That's what that was. It was a freaky ride, especially at the end with the eyeball.
That sticks with you.
I got stuck with the eyeball. Yeah, it was rough. Yeah.
The Haunted Mansion, no question.
My favorite Disneyland attraction would be Space Mountain.
Okay. My favorite Disneyland attraction is the Alice in Wonderland ride.
That's an easy one for me. Sunday nights, Tinkerbell would take us off to so many different adventures on the Sunday night with Walt Disney. There was something about that character that sparked something for me, the embodiment of magic, distant places, and possibilities. So much so I wrote a book about it.
The first one, when I was little, was Lady and the Tramp. I loved Lady. I loved dogs. to start, but I just really loved her character and how loyal she was and how determined she was to take care of that child. There's just something about how she handled the unfairness of her treatment and her connection with Tramp and how they worked together. And I don't know, I just love that story. She was a cute little puppy.
When I was 5 years old, and when I first saw Snow White on the big screen, and I saw the 7 little men march across the screen singing hi ho, I said, that's it. That's what I want to be, an animator. And it was Dopey that really attracted me.
The first time that I felt connected to a character was definitely Ariel in The Little Mermaid, and her singing Part of Your World. I just wanted to want something as much as she did.
I think it was for all girls during that time. Little Mermaid, Ariel, like for me, like I'm like, I want to have a tail too. I want to swim around, you know. It's just enchanting. That character was so different than the previous films.
I would say my favorite was Thumper as a child. Full of love, enthusiasm, love nature, love everything. And I try to keep that feeling in my own heart as I'm growing older.
Mine was probably Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I couldn't pick one, and I know you don't have an hour. I saw Fantasia as a re-release. I was probably 5 or 6 years old in the 50s. And the dinosaur scene that Wooly animated, I had dreams. That stayed with me.
As far as seeing the one when I was young, 101 Dalmatians would have been in my sweet spot as a 9-year-old or something. But I can't help but like The Jungle Book a little bit for obvious reasons.
My favorite Disney movie as a kid was The Little Mermaid.
My favorite movie was and still is Fantasia. In fact, it inspired me to become an animator.
I always thought it was Snow White. I love Snow White, but I also love Cinderella because of what Mary did with her art in Cinderella.
Well, I think it had to be Mary Poppins or I wouldn't be able to eat.
Mary Poppins. It's not only the pinnacle of what the studio was able to create at the time, it also came out the year I came out.
The Little Mermaid was definitely my favorite Disney movie.
This shows how old I am. I worked on that movie. For its good and bad, Dumbo. Fabulous.
My favorite Disney movie growing up was Fantasia, and then it was also Alice in Wonderland.
I would say Snow White because my great aunt was an ink and paint girl.
My favorite Disney movie as a kid turned out to be the first movie I went to by myself. I was 13 and my parents gave me money. Go to a movie. And the film was Swiss Family Robinson. It was even before I saw an animated film, but that was my favorite because it was the first.
One of my favorites when I was a kid, and I remember seeing this in the theaters, was Oliver and Company. It was around the time that Disney was also partnering with McDonald's for Happy Meal toys. And it was around Christmas time when it came out, and they had plush ornaments. And I made sure to collect all of them and put them on the tree, and that was my ownership. But I loved the music. I just loved the story and how sweet the little kitten was.
Yeah.
My favorite Disney movie as a kid was absolutely 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The Nautilus captured my imagination. I'd always been a fan of Jules Verne, and I love absolutely everything about that film, specifically the production design, but the performances by James Mason, Kirk Douglas, Peter Lorre, just captivated me as a child, and that's something that directly inspired me to one day become an Imagineer myself, considering that Harper Goff, known Imagineer, was also the designer of the Nautilus. So just a huge, huge impact on my life.
Well, I think the first one I saw in the theater was Robin Hood, but I think Mary Poppins is probably my favorite, the one I still enjoy.
So my first one was Swiss Family Robinson, which I loved. I loved all the natural wildlife ones too. And of course I loved The Parent Trap.
And why did you love that?
Because I was in it. I got a job as an extra in the dance scene. And by the way, it really was an incredible picture. I didn't really help it that much. fact, I might have detracted a little bit, but it was an incredible picture.
I'm going to have to go with Mary Poppins. It's my happy place, and I'll be honest, I only write exclusively to Disney music. It's mostly BGM, background music, but the opening album, every day I write, and this is true, is Mary Poppins soundtrack.
Well, I'm sure it's not a big surprise that my favorite Disney movie is Lady and the Tramp, because I grew up watching it. My grandmother co-wrote all the music. Growing up as a child, long before there was home video, my grandmother actually had the reels to Lady and the Tramp, so I got to watch it in her home on a big screen every year. So I really, literally grew up watching that movie. But I have to echo Marcy. Mary Poppins is the best. I know every song by heart. And then later on was, of course, I love The Little Mermaid too.
My favorite Disney movie as a kid was Mary Poppins. That was the Star Wars of my generation, and I loved it.
And mine growing up was Alice in Wonderland. I remember watching Alice in Wonderland time after time as a kid.
Just to lighten up a little bit, not to take it all so seriously, and to have a little more fun, to trust yourself. It'll figure itself out. It took me a while to learn as an adult that sometimes you just have to let things unfold. I know where I want to be, I know what I want to be doing, and I get impatient with what I'd like to see happening. And it took me a while to learn to just trust sometimes and let things unfold.
I would tell my teenage self not to be so hard on myself and not to beat myself up so much. But I don't want to tell myself anything that would put me on a different path, because I've enjoyed the path that I went on. So yeah, I just say don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself a little love once in a while.
I would probably tell my teenage self, don't forget to have fun while you're busy building your career.
I would advise my younger self to relax a little bit, have some more fun, take more vacations, and sometimes not taking work so seriously is what helps inspire work.
Mine would be to relax, have more fun, laugh more, take more vacations, and just enjoy work as a fun journey.
Mine is gonna be the same answer too. Yeah, it's like the relaxing part, and I think I've learned that now a little more, to relax more and to take more breaks. Before I never did that as a student. It was tough.
Going to Disneyland every year was always the best day of the year for me. My grandfather took us. He didn't make a lot of money, but he saved for it. We would drive down to Disneyland. We would scream when we saw the Matterhorn. We would be there from opening to closing. But that's when I started learning. I didn't know what the word Imagineer was at the time. I thought, how do you get to work at Disneyland? How do you get to build these attractions? How do you get to tell these kinds of stories all over the park? I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't have guidance. But what I would say to myself is just keep asking questions, write letters to other Imagineers, try to meet people and ask them to connect you with other people. I mean, networking really is so important. And now when young people ask me how to become an Imagineer, if I know somebody, I'm happy to pass along that information so they could talk with one. Never, ever, ever give up. And as Walt says, I'm paraphrasing, when you want something, we work really hard for it and you'll be able to achieve it.
It's kind of what I tell myself still today, which is be in the moment, enjoy being alive, look around, be present, be authentic, and have a sense of humor, and don't take things too seriously, and laugh, enjoy, live it up.
I think the thing that stands out to me was his courage, was his willing to be who he wanted to be and to dare to do something that had never been done before. We gave him a lot of credit for the vision and the art sense and the willingness to try something that was brand new, but the courage to follow that through all the ups and downs of business and wars and social upheaval. I think courage is the thing that stands out to me.
We're children of an animator, but the things that Walt did, television, Disneyland, the various Disneylands. I've been to Tokyo, and there's Disney World, Paris, Shanghai now. That whole empire, the way that they transitioned to video, the World's Fair that he did, there was nothing he shied from. He could manage a big organization with a lot of talent.
I would say his humanity and the way he treated his team, not just his artists, but everybody. And that impacted me in terms of how you treat people no matter where you are in the pecking order.
What inspires me about Walt's life is that he always looked ahead. Even if something wasn't a success today, it could be a success in the future.
I always felt that he was so inspirational to all of us up-and-coming future animators because of his determination that it's going to work, and how he sacrificed the big bucks to make a film absolutely perfect. And that's the sort of guideline that I would like to have followed.
I'm inspired by Walt Disney's perseverance during his entire career, because he had some very tough times, but he saw them through and was very positive. So his positive qualities, I hope, have rubbed off on me and many other people.
His genius and his childlike visions. And I know that's how he interacted with my aunt, and they always had that in common, but it was beyond greatness almost.
His boundless imagination and his confidence to persevere beyond failure. It's something that everybody should take into their hearts and live that way.
I think Walt inspires me just because of the enthusiasm he had for everything he did, and the way that he was infatuated with the past but also embraced the future.
Walt didn't give up. He faced all sorts of setbacks, but when he believed in something, he didn't allow those things to stop him. Didn't mean everything worked out, and it wasn't that he would deny reality, but he just wouldn't give up. He'd find a different way to get things done. And that's something that can apply to all of us.
His ability to understand people and what would excite them and make things magical.
I like the fact that he was willing not to do everything alone. I like that he loved building a team of people. I remember hearing in an interview that he equated himself as the bee that just kind of went along to all the different flowers and just gathered ideas here and there to make something bigger than his name is all over it, but it really is. He's the idea man, he's the gatherer, and that, I think, fosters the creativity that we see often.
I think for me, it's similar. It's that legacy as well of not just what he built, but all the people who helped him build that vision. And so much of what we do at the Animation Research Library is wrapped up in their work and their creativity and imagination. And it's just such a privilege to see it every day.
The thing that inspires me most about Walt Disney was his absolute refusal to give up on his dreams, regardless of which way his fortunes were turning at any given time. And that's a lesson that I apply to my life and career every day, really. And ever since I was a child and first started reading up on Walt and his life and studying him, really. But just his sheer pluckiness and his the way he handled adversity and ultimately triumphed over it by one way or another, I think, among many things, is what inspires me most about Walt Disney, the man.
He had a train in his backyard.
It's very cool. You can't beat that. But it inspires me is that there was nothing that was impossible. And I think that just the idea of trying to do stuff that people haven't done before, I think that inspired Jim Henson too.
There was a lot in common with the two of them because they both took established art forms and just brought them to new places. And I love that about both of them.
I'm a Walt Disney historian, and I'm fascinated by so many aspects of his life, but I would say it's really Walt as a human being. Yes, he was an extraordinary man, but he was also really very ordinary. And the people that worked with Walt and knew him very well would say how he kind of was like a common man. And I just built a house in Marceline, and I'm living in his hometown half the year now. And I can see how that pace, how Kansas City, how the Midwest influenced everything. So what impresses me about Walt is how he stayed so much the same despite his fame.
Well, what inspires me most about Walt Disney is his creativity and how innovative he was ahead of his time. Thinking of, not just the movies and the brand Mickey Mouse, but also Disneyland and Epcot, and that he created things like Imagineering. It's innovative and creative beyond.
He created a new art form called Disneyland and created Walt Disney Imagineering, Wade Enterprises, to keep it growing.
He was the greatest casting director ever. He saw talent in people that were outside of their roles, outside of their experience levels, but he knew how to find that magic and bring it out of people. And that's just not something you see all the time.